Talking on securing your digital transformation by Mr. Praveen Kulkarni, Country Sales Head, CyberRes by Micro Focus. A huge round of applause for Mr. Praveen Kulkarni.
Good morning. Slides are up. Okay. I'm Praveen Kulkarni. I head the cybersecurity business at Micro Focus for India. Today's session, I'm going to focus on digital transformation, digital initiatives, but from a security perspective. Right? I'm going to talk about why do you need to secure and possible ways of how you can secure. But before that, I'm going to take 2 minutes on the company, Micro Focus. What is it that we do? So Micro Focus is we're one of the top 10 pure play software companies in the world. We've been in operation for more than 40 years. So what does that mean to you? When you look at programs and initiatives, your horizon is always large, right? I mean, you're looking at 5 years, 7 years, 10 years and beyond. So you need partners who can be with you through that journey. You also need partners who can deliver solution and support it in those years to come. Just looking at India, this is a worldwide slide, but just looking at India, we have more than 1,000 customers here. Almost 500 of them, we have our cybersecurity solutions running. Key point I want to make is that a very large portion of our percentage of our R&D work happens out of India, and this helps us qualify for Make in India. So how does Micro Focus support you in your digital initiatives? One is we bring speed. That is your primary tool is applications. So we help you with enterprise DevOps, which is a complete end-to-end application lifecycle management solution and a testing platform which reduces the time to market that you can take your initiatives to your citizens. Second is we bring you agility. We have a IT operations management platform which helps you manage your assets no matter where they are, whether they are on-prem, they're in the cloud, or hybrid using a single UI. We help you secure your assets. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And we also help you with predictive insights. We've been working with the Government of India departments now for almost a decade. A few top departments that we work with: the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Railways. When I say we are engaged, what I mean is that we have our solutions deployed and operational for over a few years. These are the state government initiatives that we've been part of. We'd like to thank the Government of Assam. The Government of Assam, SDC, has our solutions running in that. We work with Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar, also South states, Jharkhand, Goa. And if you look at the kind of projects that we work, along with STC, we work on SWANs, we work on CCTMS, we work on BharatNets and power projects. We've been part of the smart city projects right from initiation. We work very closely with the SIs and bidders. And the list of smart cities that I'm showing you here are where Micro Focus solutions are deployed and operational. We also have the more recent smart cities of Muradabad, Muzaffarpur and Bhagalpur where our solutions are being deployed. Okay. Now coming to the key question of why do you need to secure your digital initiatives? So when you plan and you're operationalizing your digital initiatives, your primary tool is applications and assets. Right? So when you look at applications, the spread of applications increases, and the kind of identities and the number of identities that your application interface with increases. So when you're looking at an internal digitization, you have a fixed number. Right? You could be having 40 or 50,000 users, but when you're looking at citizen-facing initiatives, the number of users that you would need, your applications would need to interface with, goes up into lakhs, and I've seen some presentations where you're interfacing with almost crores. Right? Also, each user, the devices that they use differ from each other. So the number of devices that your applications need to interfaces goes up. Internet of Things, it's a reality. Quite a few initiatives where we have IoT integrated. And you have applications working with applications, services, and APIs. The point I'm trying to make here is this. When your digital footprint increases, unfortunately, every element in this digital footprint, whether it's a server, it's a storage, it's a network, it's an operating system, it can be a hypervisor, it can be a database, each one of them inherently come with a potential vulnerability, right? It could be a series of vulnerabilities. And each vulnerability, there is a potential of that being exploited. Now, what I'm talking about, is that theoretical or is it real? Unfortunately, it's very, very real. In the last 2 years, there have been more than 11 lakh cyber attacks on Indian organizations. Unfortunately, India is one of those vulnerable countries for cyber attacks. And the number of attacks that are happening on government organizations has been growing rapidly. In the last 2 years, we've seen more than 87,000 attacks. Now, when you look at the threat actors, they're actually different. It's not the same entity going behind all organizations. When you look at enterprise, if I was to look at BFSI, the threat actors there are organized crime. They're very different. You have the likes of Lazarus, Cobalt, Fin7, who focus only on the BFSI segment. When I look at government, the actors are different. Generally, they're more state actors, but that line is slowly thinning now. And earlier, the attacks we saw were more website defacing. There were DDoS attacks to bring your infrastructure down. But now we're seeing them evolve. We are seeing ransomware attacks and financial claims being made. There are 2 examples I put here. These are more recent and in the news. A premier healthcare institute, servers, applications encrypted using a ransomware attack. The organization had to move to a manual mode for a couple of weeks. The other organization is part of our economic infrastructure. Again, a malware attack. Operations were crippled for a couple of days. So, whilst the modus operandi, the threat, the vectors that attackers use is very, very large, I put on slide here the top 15 odd attack parameters that threat actors use. Right? The most common one of them are malware, are ransomware, the DDoS attacks, SQL injection. Right? Now, now I'm coming to the second part of my question is, how do you then protect and defend yourself? Right? There are hundreds of cybersecurity technologies in the market, and depending on the way you architected your solution, the way you're offering services, your security architecture will change. But I try to make things simple, or try to put, make A for apple here. There are 6 primary domains that you have to secure. Right? The first one would be your network. If you look at historically, most of the attacks happened OSI layer 4 and below. So it's absolutely important for you to protect your network. Technologies like firewall, IPS, IDS, content filters, DLPs is what you need. The second is the endpoint. You use technologies like antivirus, anti-malware, you use host firewalls, host intrusion detection systems, and also now you get the full-blown, sophisticated EDR solutions in place. What we've now seen over the last 3 to 4 years is the attacks have now moved to the OSI layer 5 and above. Right? So it becomes imperative for you to protect your applications. And one of the ways of doing that is, at the time you are building your applications, you build security into design. Right? You do source code analysis, you try to minimize the vulnerabilities that are there in your end application. But having done that, you still need to protect it. You need to put a web application firewall as a layer of that. Data. Encrypt, encrypt, encrypt. At the end of the day, your threat actors are behind your data. They would either modify it, which would become fraud, or they would exfiltrate it. Right? Now, we also need to look at identities, right? Because if you look at the new paradigm, the earlier version of having a fixed perimeter, a fixed on-prem is gone. The identities are the new perimeter that you have. So you need to have a federated identity management solution in place, whether your digitization project is internal or it's external focus. you need to have a policy in place for authentication and authorization. Does it solve the problem? Unfortunately, no. Because no matter what layer of protection you put in your initiative, there are still going to be attacks. So you would then need to have a security operations center in place which gives you a holistic view of all the activities, all the incidents, all events that are happening in your organization. Right? And your SOCs, what they help you do is they help you detect, they help you analyze, they help you respond and mitigate these threats. So how does Micro Focus help you? We offer solutions in 4 of the top 6 domains that you need to secure. Our Oxide is a next-gen SOC solution. We have Voltage, which helps you with encryption. Okay, that's my timer. Apologies. I need another 1 minute. We have Voltage, which helps you encrypt your data. We have 45, which helps you, gives you an end-to-end application security portfolio. And we have NetIQ, which is a right-hand solution. How do these solutions help you? They help you defend and mitigate your threats. Right? If I was just to pick a couple of them, if you look at Voltage, if you're encrypting your data, then the scope of the issue that you would have in a ransomware attack reduces. NetIQ pretty much negate any phishing attack. Oxide in real time is able to detect any DDoS attack that's happening to your assets. And when you look at 45, the SQL injection is primarily the way you've coded, right? That vulnerabilities in your code. 45 can identify these vulnerabilities and pretty much completely eliminate SQL injection as a vulnerability for you. I am a little short on time, so I'm not going to go into the slides in detail, but our Oxide security operations is truly a next-gen SOC. It pretty much can monitor any asset that you have within the organization. We have a layered threat analytics, where we do threat hunting, we do real-time identification, detection of your threat, and we help you analyze that. Plus we have AI and ML based analytics, which helps you detect unknown threats. Right? And we have Fusion, where you're able to identify threat from a single engine and then use the other engines to validate. And we're completely automated using SOAR because the actions you take for remediation is managed by SOAR. 45, application security. We pretty much handle it end-to-end. You need to do source code analysis for your applications. We do that. You need to do pen test for both your web applications and mobile. We do that. There are 2 new hotbeds for attacks. One is your open source libraries that you use in your applications, and the second is API. So we offer both of that. And not only that, we don't do this disparately, but we give you a single UI where you're able to see all the vulnerabilities that your applications have, each applications have, and across applications. So you're able to prioritize what you're going to remediate. Okay, I'm going to summarize this. When you look at identity and access management, you need to look at it from 2 ways. One is internal, where you federate all your identities. You do access management. It can be role-based, attribute-based. You need to have authentication. We have 27 methodologies that you can use for authentication. You can chain these for multi-factor authentication. We also have a risk-based engine. And for your privileged users, we do privilege access management. Now, when you look at the initiatives that you are more citizen-focused, and if those initiatives have transactions in place, then our recommendation is please have a lightweight identity and access management solution in place. And if transactions are happening, please have multi-factor authentication built in. NetIQ solution has a citizen IAM solution, which is in place, and one of our largest customers has 30 million entities being managed. 30 seconds. All right. Voltage, encrypt. Here we encrypt your databases, files, and emails. These are the set of customers where we have our solutions deployed in operation. Oxide is in MATI, MOD, Ministry of Defense, CDAC. Similarly, 45, we have NetIQ running in NHA, Ministry of Railways, and Voltage in smart cities. So how does securing your initiatives help? One is helps you deliver trust and confidence in your programs, and that helps you drive acceptance and adoption. Right. Thank you.
Thank Thank you so much, sir. I request you to please take center stage, and I would like to call on the dais Dr. Shafaqat Khan, Additional Mission Director, Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission, UT of Jammu and Kashmir, to please join us on the stage and give a token of appreciation to Mr. Praveen Kulkarni. Can we have the speakers from that table? Such a wonderful presentation. A huge round of applause for Mr. Praveen Kulkarni, Country Sales Head, CyberRes by Micro Focus.